This is a little disclaimer. I am not a doctor, I am not a professional. These products is just what's worked for me. Everything that I'm saying on here has worked for me. This is just in the hopes of helping someone else that might have been affected with it. And yeah, I just want to say again, I'm not a professional, so don't take what I say literally, because it might not help you. Some things that help me might not help you, and some things that help you might not help me, which I've found. Guys, welcome back to my channel. I thought I would jump on here because I've had a lot of requests for a eczema skin journey video, and because I've been very vocal about my eczema on my Instagram, a lot of people kind of message me and inbox me and say, I'm struggling with eczema, what do I do, what do I do, what do I do? And I feel like this time of the year is the worst for people that struggle with eczema. Spring hates me. We are not on a good relation. We're not good right now. Me and Spring, we hate each other. So I thought I'd come on and talk to you about my skin journey and my eczema journey and how I kind of tackled it, so I've written down notes, okay, just because sometimes I forget if I don't write down what I want to say. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is my skin intro, how long I've had eczema, all that kind of stuff. So I've had eczema since I was little, but it wasn't as intense till maybe a couple of years ago. I'm going to say 4 years ago. It wasn't as intense. And yeah, all of a sudden 4 years ago, I started flaring up. It was stress. Stress is like the biggest contributor to any kind of imbalance in your skin, in your gut, in really anything. I'm gonna lean here. How cute is my little tile table? So cute. Anyways, yeah, so I've kind of had really intense eczema for about 4 or 5 years, and it's on my face, it's on my back, it's in here, these little cracks. It's kind of like in between crevices where you sweat, but mostly on my face it was really, really bad. I'll insert some pics in the video as I go, but yeah, so my skin is kind of a combination of sensitive and dry. I've got some products here that I'm going to show you that I have been using that has really helped me. But before I get into that, I'm going to dive into what flares up my eczema. I do have questions as well, by the way. I asked you guys to ask me questions on Instagram, and I will answer those. I'll first go through my little list of what I want to chat about, and then I'll answer your questions. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is what flares up my eczema. So it can be really, really hard doing like a trial and error thing, because when you kind of do a lot of things to your skin or your diet, it's hard to pinpoint what is actually the cause of something. Especially because there's also other things to consider, like the weather, stress, the clothes you wear, or what makeup. Like there's so much to consider, but I think it's good to kind of do a trial and error to find the cause of it and what kind of triggers it. So the main things that triggered my eczema was stress. Last year was the worst my eczema has ever been. I think the cause of it was mainly last year was because of stress, because it was the first initial like lockdown we had, and it was intense and everyone was just, it wasn't a good time, and I was stressed so much. And then it led to spring, came October, and it was just, I was not in a good headspace at all. Like my eczema affected my mood. It was irritating. It felt, not to kind of be dramatic, because this is going to sound really dramatic, but it kind of felt debilitating. Like I couldn't do anything. If I did something, it would get itchy and it would flare up. I'd have to just, if it really flared up, I would literally have to sit down in my bed and not think of anything, and just kind of either meditate, put some meditating music on, or try and fall asleep to not feel the pain or the uncomfortable feeling. So it became really intense last year, and I was like, I've had it before, but I was like, I've had enough. This is not okay. This needs to stop. So the first thing, so stress, I'm going on a tangent. So stress was the first thing that initially was triggering my eczema last year when it was really bad. I'll insert a photo of here. I don't know, I know how to insert it, but yeah, I'll insert a photo here, and it kind of doesn't do it justice. I might even post a little video. I was crying, and I just Snapchatted myself, and I don't know, it's hard because people watching this that don't suffer from eczema might be like, oh, it's just a bit rash, it's just a red rash, it's fine. But it was something that just made me so upset, and it just was kind of like a roller coaster, a domino effect, and I was just like upset, and then because I was upset, my eczema would get worse, and then because my eczema would get worse, I would get more upset. So it was really frustrating and really stressful. But stress was the biggest thing last year. I kind of, before last year, was kind of always thinking it's the food that I eat, and sometimes it is, but so usually processed meats and sugar and alcohol were the worst things that would affect my eczema. But I'll get into it later on. Those things don't affect me anymore because I'll get into it later on and tell you why. So yeah, the things that initially triggered and affected my eczema and made it flare up was the stress was the main thing, and then some foods at the time, which gets me to creams. So what I kind of used when it was really bad, I would go to the doctor and they would always prescribe eczema cream, cortisone cream. So I've kept this only because I wanted to do a video, but there's none left. Let me try and stretch it out. I don't know if you can kind of see. So that's what it is. It's cortisone cream. There's all different strengths. But yeah, I got this one. I had like about 5 repeats, and on each script there was like 3 creams. So I had a lot of cortisone cream, and I used a lot of cortisone cream. Last year got to the point where I had to, only because it was so inflamed that no creams, no moisturizers, no oils, no supplements, nothing would calm it down, because it got to the point where it was so infected that, yeah, it was infected and it was inflamed and it couldn't go down. So yeah, I had to use that last year, but I haven't used this since last year. So a whole year without using that is unlike me. I used to use that all the time. I constantly had eczema above my lip. Like, even if I squeezed this whole tube out and used the eczema cream on my lip, it would constantly come back for no good reason. Even if I didn't have eczema and my eczema was gone, it was disappeared and I was going good, I would always have eczema on my upper lip. And it was just like, now I don't even, like, that is not a problem anymore. So yeah, this was the main thing that I tried. I did go to a cosmetic injectables person who did Botox up my nose. Sister has bad hay fever, and last year when she was suffering from eczema as well, we thought, okay, maybe it's spring. Maybe this spring is really bad. Let's go try this Botox thing. So what they do is they put Botox up your nose. It's kind of like a swab, and they wriggle it around up your nose, and I don't really know the technical terms behind it, but it was pretty much to stop the symptoms you get from hay fever and from allergies, which is sneezing, and then you get itchy, and then you get watery eyes and all that kind of stuff. So it would stop the symptoms. So it would stop you getting itchy, it would stop you getting all that kind of stuff, because it would block some certain, or not, it wouldn't block it. I think it would relax something up there. I don't know. But that worked a little bit last year, because I think the stress plus the spring weather and the pollen was kind of worse together. So when I calmed that down and kind of helped my allergies because of the spring, then it got a little bit better. And then I just tried to focus on my mental health and keeping my stress levels down and all that kind of stuff. So last year was a bit of a trial and error, and I think I've gotten to the point, which is why I wanted to do a video, I've gotten to the point where I know what triggers it, I know how to calm it down straight away, and to be honest, I don't really get it anymore, which is amazing. So yeah, I've had a lot of people message me, DM me, have you tried this cream, have you tried this cream? I've tried every cream under the sun, goats and oats creams and all that kind of stuff, and my allergist told me to stay away from food derived and animal derived creams. because they can cause allergens sometimes if you have allergies. So I wanted to stay away from those creams. No cream helped me because it was all about the inside, it was all about the gut, it wasn't topical anymore. It got to the point where not even calm moisturizers like this, which I'll get into, I used CeraVe. Yeah, it got to the point where even really minimal ingredients would not even help. So really natural products wouldn't even help. So yeah, I even had a humidifier in my room. I had yeah, the Botox done. I would use my cortisone creams, I would use every cream under the sun, and nothing would work. It did come down, it calmed down during summer, because spring is usually the worst for my eczema. Summer came down, but it was still here. It's still been around until maybe since the start of this year, maybe I'm gonna say, maybe 4, 5, 6 months ago. Or maybe a few months ago, I can't really remember. But yeah, that gets me on to the topic of how I tackled it. There's probably other little questions about how I dealt with it and all that kind of stuff, but I'll get to the questions later on. So how I tackled it was, so this is not sponsored at all. I got a Topical. It's a LED mask, and I think it's called LED. Yeah, it's an LED face mask, and it has a blue light, red light, and a yellow light. It saved me. It really saved me. Like all the creams I used, I finally found a routine and a good skincare that kind of calmed it down when it did flare up, which I'll show you now. So I used this before, and I still use this now because it's still amazing for my sensitive skin. So I use a lot of La Roche-Posay and CeraVe and Avene products. So I have the La Roche-Posay Dermo Cleanser. It's good for intolerant skin. La Roche is really good for sensitive skin. So I'm sorry if it's gone light and dark. Can't help that. But yeah, La Roche is really good for sensitive skin. If you have sensitive skin, La Roche is like one of the best for that. Bit pricey, but it's so worth it. And then I use, so I've gone between this, which is a CeraVe Hydrating Hyaluronic Acid Serum. It has hyaluronic acid and vitamin B and ceramides. So I don't know if you guys know this, but all CeraVe products have ceramides, and ceramides, don't quote me on this, ceramides have, they're good for plumping. So yeah, I use that. That is kind of a dupe of what I used to have, the Hydro B5 Medicate. It was a purple little serum, and that is amazing, but it's quite expensive. So if you're on a budget, that is kind of a dupe because it does have the hyaluronic acid, but it does have ceramides and vitamin B5. So that is good. I use that, and then I go in with my, I don't know if you can see, it's an alpha H vitamin B with copper tripeptide. So this is really good for strengthening your barrier, which us eczema gals and boys have a compromised barrier. So our barrier is very thin and very weak. Things get in it quite easily. Bacteria gets in it, dust gets in it, and it's easy to get inflamed and flared up and all that kind of stuff. Whereas if you strengthen your barrier, nothing can get inside. It's strong, it fights off dust, bacteria, allergies, sun, pollen, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'll use that after. Going with either, I've been using now, because my skin isn't as sensitive now, I've been using the Ole Henriksen Orange Moisturizer, and that's really, really good. But when my skin was quite sensitive, I used the Avene. I don't have a photo of it, but it's Avene, and I'm pretty sure it's just like an Avene moisturizer. It's like soothing, protecting, and something else. But I also use this. I use this sometimes on my face, but then all over my body. It's a thick cream. It's really thick, but yeah, it's for dry to very dry skins. It has ceramides again and hyaluronic acid. So yeah, that's really, really good if you want to use it all over your body, but also on your face. And then, oh, I forgot to show you this, guys. This is also a good barrier strengthening cream. So it's the Sicko Balm B5 by La Roche-Posay. And yeah, it's good for soothing and repairing. I I pretty much use this when I'm inflamed, so I don't use it as much anymore, but I still kind of use it here and there. So it's good for when you're inflamed, when you're red. It soothes and calms and repairs the barrier. So, and then the last thing I use is my La Roche-Posay sunscreen. So I kind of go between this. This is a 50 plus. It's non-perfumed. It's for sensitive skin, obviously. Or I will use, I think it's called Everyday Humans, and it's like a green sunscreen, and it has like chamomile tea or like cucumber or aloe or something really calming. That's really good as well, so I'll use those. So that was pretty much my skincare. And then I also had these face masks by Medicate, and they were just like a really good moisturizing, plumping, thick, hydrating mask from Medicate. So I would use that if I was getting really inflamed. I would cleanse with this. So I would cleanse with this, pat my face, and put on that Medicate. It's like, it comes in like a white packet of like 5 or 6. I'm pretty sure RY or Look Fantastic have them, but they are amazing. I will use that, and then I would take that off, leave that on for about 20 minutes, take that off, put all the excess, rub it in, and then I would use my Topical when I was really inflamed, and that would kind of act as like a calm down, but also like a pamper. So it would mentally make me feel calm, but then physically on my skin kind of calm my eczema down. So this, so everything in that skincare routine I still use. Some things I chop and change if I'm feeling like my skin is not as sensitive anymore, but I just realized I keep looking up here and I should look here. But this I always use. So for eczema, dry, sensitive skin, I switch between the red and the yellow. You can look it up and research it more. I was told to use blue, but blue is good for bacteria and acne. So when I do get spots randomly, I will use the blue, but yeah, the red and the yellow is really good. I switch between both just because it's good to get both in. And I do this twice. So this is only 10 minutes. It's not as strong as the salon ones. Yeah, it's not as strong as the in-store ones. So I do 20 minutes. So I do this twice. I do 2 reds one night and 2 yellows one night. So yeah, this, if you're suffering from eczema, this is the one thing that you should invest in. Don't worry about all those skincare products. You can just invest in a CeraVe and a hyaluronic acid and a barrier cream if it was the alpha, if it's the alpha H, or if it's the repairing Sicko Balm B5. So yeah, this is amazing. This strengthens the barrier, it plumps, it soothes, it brightens, it hydrates somehow. Yeah, this was my savior. Like ever since I started using this, my barrier is strong. I can just feel it. Nothing gets in there. It doesn't get irritated so easily. Like last year, it would just get irritated by the smallest things. When I worked at Sunscreen, there was dust everywhere, and it would constantly like irritate me, even if I'm just folding clothes. So yeah, the little bit of irritants would like really affect me, but this helped so much. How I tackled it. So this year, I fully feel like I tackled it. So I'm gonna say maybe a month or 2 ago, I was really stressed, really anxious. The news, listening to social media, everyone has their opinions, everyone wants to take people down. There's so much hate, there's so much division, and I was just getting really overwhelmed, really anxious. I felt pressured, I felt judged, I felt like it was just so much hate and negativity. I felt like I sucked in so much negativity from Instagram, and it was always this toxic feeling, an anxious feeling in me, and I would just be upset constantly all the time. My eczema wasn't as bad this year, thank God. So that Topical has definitely helped, but it would come back here and there. So the first thing I tackled was my stress. Stress was the #1 cause of my eczema and my gut. So I've been going to a naturopath. She has given me these herbs that is good for the gut. I think the first thing you need to do is find out where it comes from. Usually it comes from the gut because that's where everything stems from. If you're within, then you're healthy without. So yeah, I think it stemmed from my gut. So I've been taking herbs. Skin has been amazing. I haven't flared up for a while now. And yeah, so I think a lot of people think it's topical. Let's get this cream, let's get this expensive cream, let's get this expensive cream. I've got to get those oils. Don't stress about finding expensive products because it's usually not topical, and it's usually you just have to fix your gut, or you just have to fix stress levels. So the past month or so, I've been really, since we can't do anything, I have been really looking after my health and my fitness. I've been really focusing on my health and fitness. I've been doing workouts 4 days a week. Not that that means anything, but that's what makes me feel calm, and that's what makes me feel happy. A lot of messages as well saying, how do you not let it affect you? Like, I used to, but I think knowing that other people are going through it, and knowing that you're not alone, and knowing that it's temporary and it will go away and you're on the right track to fixing it, kind of just puts you at ease and makes you feel at peace and makes you feel more calm. So yeah, that brings me to health and fitness. So try and focus on whatever makes you happy. If it's meditating, if it's exercising, if it's going for a walk, if it's dancing, if it's painting, if it's writing, if it's drawing, if it's reading, whatever it is, whatever makes you happy, makes you feel at ease and gets you into a routine where you're doing that thing every day or a few times a week and you're feeling content and it makes your stress levels go down, please do it. Just, yeah, focusing on my workouts and my fitness and fueling my body with good food. Obviously, balance is key. I do eat junk, but that just makes me happy. I can't cut out any food types just because, yeah, food makes me happy. And yeah, just limit things like alcohol and sugar and all that kind of stuff used to really trigger me. But now that I've kind of got my eczema under control and I've got my stress levels down and I've strengthened my barrier and I have strengthened my gut, I can eat these foods moderately without it affecting me. So yeah, what else? So yeah, just getting your stress levels down, meditating. If you feel like you need to go and see a naturopath to kind of get your gut good again, get some herbs to detox, then definitely do that. I would really recommend that. And they also focus on like the mental health side of things as well, because stress is kind of a combination of how your gut works as well. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much everything. So finding a good skincare routine, but obviously keeping it quite simple and don't spend loads of money on skincare. Finding out where it's coming from, if stress that's making it, if it's some type of foods, getting to the gut and kind of strengthening your gut, strengthening your immune to make sure you can eat that dairy that you want to eat. You can eat that sugar that you want to eat. Everyone's different, but yeah, definitely try maybe go and see a naturopath. Limiting things is okay. Sometimes I have to limit gluten because it can flare up and it's a kind of an inflammatory, but yeah, don't think you have to cut out things. Don't think you have to never eat sugar again or never eat dairy again or any of that stuff. Obviously do what you want to do and what makes you feel like is working, but definitely get to the root cause of it, fix your gut, maintain your stress levels, and have a good skincare routine. And the Pepico, get the Pepico. So I think I have kind of touch base with everything. If I have missed anything, please DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is Michelle Paps. I'll leave it on the screen. So yeah, okay, get to the questions now. First question is, are you still using cortisone creams? And if not, did you find coming off them hard? Yes, so hard, but so worth it. So I've been using cortisone creams for a few years now, which is quite bad. Cortisone creams thin your skin. Your skin and your body becomes reliant on it. So if you don't use it and you're trying to wean off them, it's just your eczema flares up and it's not going to get better. But you really have to push through because it's so worth it. I haven't used it in ages, and yeah, my skin would easily burn in the sun after the cortisone cream because it would thin my skin so much. I have really thin skin around my eyes now because of it. But definitely coming off it is hard, but just keep pushing through, keep going, trust me. It's gonna feel like, why the fuck can't I use it? It's helping, why can't I use it? Don't use it. Get the Pepico, it will strengthen your barrier. Try and suss the things that I've showed you. I will try and put them in my description and link them. Get your gut fixed. Try and tackle everything else before you go straight to the cortisone cream, because that's the easy fix. That's the masking it. It's a band-aid. You put it on, it's good. Comes back, and then you have to put it on again. It always comes back. My eczema will constantly come back after the cortisone cream, constantly. And I was like, why isn't this working? Because it's just a band-aid and it just masks it. Get to the root cause of things. My eczema hasn't been bad since last year. That's a whole year without my eczema, whereas before that, it would be months and months and months. It would come back. Next month, it would come back. In a week, it would come back. So it's really hard, but try and use these tips that I've said. Use this skincare, try and get a PeppiCo. Really fuel your body with good food, drink lots and lots of water, get good sleep. Just focus on your health, because everything stems from the gut, health and mental health. So yeah, it was really hard, but just push through. You can do this. You got this, okay? Someone said, not a question, but Tatcha Indigo Cream and the Avene Eye Cream saved my life. I tried both. The Avene is amazing. Tatcha was good, but a bit too expensive for what it does. I think, obviously if it helped you, amazing. That is amazing. But yeah, you don't have to spend a lot to kind of get good products, if you know what I mean. But someone said, what are your triggers? I think I've said that previously, but stress, it was food, but it's not anymore, because I've really got to the root cause of it. So if you really get to the root cause of things, triggers aren't, you won't get triggered as easily, if that makes sense. Someone said, best topical relief, and have you noticed any dietary habits that trigger? Again, the best topical reliefs are the ones I've kind of shown. The Avene, I don't have a photo of it, but the Avene moisturizer, it's soothing, protecting. I get it from Chemist Warehouse. I'll try and find a photo and leave it below or link it. That was really good at helping me soothe my eczema when it was really inflamed and I didn't want to use this. So that gets back to the question that that girl asked, how did you get off that? So when you're really inflamed and you don't want to use this, putting on the Avene soothing and protecting cream and just laying there and letting it soak in, and using all my barrier creams, this as well. It will sting maybe, I can't remember how it felt, but I think I was feeling like this is not working, but just push through, please push through. It works, it might work, it worked for me. But yeah, topical relief, Avene, La Roche and CeraVe. Those three are good. Try, because maybe different products might work for you. So definitely try those brands and see if that helps. Any dietary habits that trigger. As I said, now I've kind of gotten to the root cause of things. Dietary doesn't trigger it as much. Like if I have a lot of gluten, vegan cheese does it for me. Maybe it's all the ingredients in there. A lot of processed things do it for me, and sugar. It still comes up here and there, but very minor. So I think if you get to the root cause of things and fix your gut, you should be able to have foods that you want to have and it not affect you that much. Someone said, have you tried Dr. Aaron's compound cream? That's what I was talking about before. I said Anton, but Aaron's, yes, I've tried that. I think I got into a good routine with my skincare that I was like, you know what, I'm not going back on other things that was like kind of helping. These things worked for me. So yeah. Someone said, by the way, for someone that also suffers from eczema insecurities, you're really inspiring. That's really cute. You're really cute. Thank you so much. Yeah, just try not, I know it's hard to say, but try not to let it affect you so much. You're gonna get through it. You're gonna fix it. You're gonna get rid of it. Don't mask it. Don't do band-aid things. Get to the root cause of it and you're gonna fix it. And it will feel really good when you finally tackle it and you finally find something that helps you. So everyone has skin struggles. Everyone has struggles and insecurities that they don't like. Not everyone's perfect, so yeah. Someone said, what did you find flared you up the most? So yeah, I already answered that. Certain foods and stress, but yeah. And then of course Johnny said, how do I get rid of eczema from my ear hole? You eat better. I think I have kind of touched base with everything, I hope. Let me know if I've missed anything, but yeah, I really hope that these tips help you guys. They definitely helped me. I'm feeling like I finally tackled my eczema that I've been having for 5 years now. So yeah, I think I touched base with everything. If you have any questions or you want to chat or anything, DM me. My DMs are open. I read every single one of them. I reply to every single one of them. So yeah, I hope this helps you guys, and I hope everyone is doing well. I know it's really hard, but you'll get through it. And just do things that make you happy. That is all. I hope this helped you guys, and let me know if you want to see any other vids, what you want to see. And that's it. P.S. how cute is my top? It's from General Pants. And that's all. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. See you on my next vid.